What's up, everybody? It is raining pretty good outside. I'm on backup internet tonight, streaming, so fingers crossed. We had just one of those really thick rains. No storm. There's about 10-15 minutes of wind, and then just, and it's just been raining for like 5-6 hours now. It's supposed to rain all night tonight. Tonight is a cold front. It's going to be 72 degrees here tomorrow, which is delicious. Delicious weather. But it's a cold front where we live, so everyone's like, tomorrow everyone will be wearing like scarves and everything, jackets. I'll be out in shorts and a t-shirt being like, "Oh my god, the weather is amazing." It's going to cool down a lot tonight. Oh, you know what? I don't have my alert box turned on. Okay, that should be on now. Alright, we got to the docks and were immediately attacked last night when we got here. So we are assuming that everything from here on out, these Anver thugs are going to be after us.
I always keep my options open.
This is a leaflet. It says we need no rules or leaders. We are not an organization. We are a force of nature. ANV. So that must be the Anvers. I don't know. I don't know where you live, right now. Texas? Yeah. No, here it'll be 72 degrees tomorrow. So tonight it'll be, I didn't even look. I'll go check the weather again. It's going to be beautiful the next couple of days. It is going to be 70 degrees tonight, 68 degrees tomorrow night. So tomorrow's going to be 71, the day after is going to be 73, then 77, then back up to 83 on Thursday, then dropping back down to the mid-70s. This is great weather, but it's like raining. Tomorrow it's going to storm. Oh, poop, I'm supposed to go to the grocery store tomorrow morning. I don't know if I'm going to the grocery store tomorrow morning, though. It's supposed to be thunderstorming from like 3 a.m. onwards. After the brutal summer you had, this cold is wonderful. Yeah, I mean, April and May. Well, April is when it starts to get hot. I mean, it starts warming up at the end of February. But hot here is May and June. Regularly, pretty much every day is 100 to 105. And then there's usually like a 2-week span when it goes 105 to 110. There might be one day in there that it gets up to like 1 or 2 days where it gets above 110. This last year was milder. The first year we lived here, 2022, there was like 2 or 3 days where it got up to like 113, 115 in the middle of like early June, I think it was. But this last year it was like typical year. It was getting into the late, upper 90s, upper 90s by the beginning of May, and by the end of May we were up over 100 like every single day. And then June, it was like there's like a 2-week stretch that straddles somewhere in there where it can get up to like 105 to 110. And yes, it is gross. But it's a small price to pay. 2 months out of the year where I'm a little uncomfortable because the air conditioner doesn't quite keep it cool enough in here for me to be like cold. I mean, I'll definitely, you'll see me wearing a headband on those days because I'm sweating. Even though the AC's on, it'll only get it down to like 90 in this room because I'm a west-facing room and there's no shade, so I just get the sun. 2 months out of the year, it's not that big of a deal. The place is paid for in cash. I have no mortgage, no car payments, no credit card debt, so I don't bitch about the 2 months. I brag about that a lot. I probably shouldn't. I don't mean it as a brag. It's more like when it gets brought up in conversation, I probably better learn to curb myself a little bit, though. It might sound kind of arrogant when I say those things. What's up, Bobolonia? But it's more of just a reflection on, I could choose to live. Like, I loved Mexico City. I loved it there. The weather was amazing year round, but the smog sucks. The traffic sucks. There's constant fucking earthquakes, And so it's like, even though the weather's amazing and it was like literally was the perfect weather for me personally, the smog is bad. Like, there's about 2 to 3 months out of the year, like April, May, you get all the fronts coming in and it's in a bowl. So the fronts come in and they push all of the smog down onto the city and it doesn't get to escape into the atmosphere. And so like April, May, it's just like, "Bleh," and I just can't, my sinuses would flare up horribly during those 2 months. But the earthquakes were pretty gnarly. That was not fun. In the middle of a movie, and I think the worst was Chris and I were watching some movie with explosions in it, and there was like an alarm going off, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. It was like a car alarm, and then as we're watching this movie with explosions and everything else, I pause it and I'm like, that's the earthquake alarm. And you only get about 90 seconds to maybe a couple of minutes when that goes off to, like, you're supposed to evacuate. You're supposed to get down and depending on where you live. But our building was small enough. There was only four floors. So our mandate for our building was, if there's an earthquake alarm, you evacuate onto the street, and then there's like places where you're supposed to go congregate where it's away from really tall buildings and stuff. And that was like 5-6 times a year that would happen. But that one we didn't catch, and I'm standing at the door, and it was a 7.4, and I'm like standing at the door trying to get the key in the fucking door, and it won't go in, and I'm like, normally when the alarm goes off, you manage to hear it soon enough to get out the door, but in that case we didn't hear the alarm, and that was a kind of a heart throbbing, not heart throb in that manner. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Heart stopping might be a better terminology. It's like trying to get your keys in the door when there's an earthquake going on. So I mean, I love the weather, but I think no matter where you live, there's pros and cons. But also, the city is, I got to pay rent in the city, and that shit gets expensive. It's like, yeah, if yeah, Bobolonia, California, it's California style, man. It's full on. It's just like every month there's like 4 or 5 earthquakes. Most of them, it kind of feels like a dump truck just went by your house. So it's just, you get a little 5 seconds of rumble, right? And it's like, whatever. My coffee didn't even slosh. Those happen like multiple times a month, and then about half a dozen times a year you get a big, like 4.5 to like 7, and then maybe once a year you'll get like a 7.5, maybe 8. The really bad ones only happen once every, maybe decade or so. And the reason so many people have passed away in those is because on the outskirts, people build construction very cheaply, and so it's just it's just not built with any sort of code in mind. Everything downtown, it's like high rises and it's all to spec. So, earthquakes happen and the buildings just rock. But in the poor outskirts where they're building with like clay bricks and blocks and, the slums around Mexico City that they always show in movies, that shit's real. And it's like the favelas in Brazil. And that's where all the buildings fall down and people, unfortunately, fall prey. So yeah, 2 months out of the year, I get to be a little hot and uncomfortable. I am really grumpy today though because of the neighbors finally, they've been slowly hacking away at the tree on their side of the fence that gave us all that beautiful shade. And today, the owner brought in a team, a guy with a chainsaw and a couple of helpers, and they took it all down. It's like 5 hours they were out there working, and it's just like, man, that provided shade to like the whole area outside of our kitchen. The kitchen itself, the area outside of our kitchen, it's all gone now. No shade. Our poor cats were freaking the fuck out all day today because of the chainsaw and everything. And then they go outside and they're just looking where that tree used to be because all the squirrels were up in there and they would climb. Chris has so many TikTok videos of like the cats up in that tree, and now it's gone. And it's just like, all because literally the owner's an old man and he owns like those 3 houses, and that tree, just the leaves are always falling and the seeds, the nuts, it's like wild almond tree. You can't eat them or anything, but it's kind of like walnut-sized seeds. They're just constantly falling, or the squirrels eat them and drop the shells. So it's just constant trash, and none of his tenants clean shit. And also on the rooftops, it's just falling up there, and it's just rotting his rooftops because no one goes up there and does maintenance. And it's like, it's just... I'm going to make a very judgmental statement here. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but Chris and I both share this opinion, so I'm not... I wish she was in here to say this. Because I'm going to sound like an asshole when I say it. It's people who live, you know, they're surviving, right? They're just surviving, right? And so the last thing on their mind is, I'm going to go up and clean the rooftop of the place I rent. Or I'm going to clean the backyard, you know, because of all these leaves and everything else. They just leave it. And Chris is out there like, she does way more yard work than I do. I'll do it about once or twice a month because I'm mostly here working. But Chris is out there like every day with a rake and brooms, and I mean, she cleans the backyard almost every single day. All the leaves, all the seeds. Because why not? But we own the place, so there's a certain pride that you take when it's your place. And anybody who's been watching the Homestead channel, that back patch of dirt was literally a patch of dirt when we moved in. It was packed dirt with one tree. And in the 2 years that we've been there, we've cultivated like 15, 20 trees, papaya trees, avocado trees. Chris is growing a mango tree. We got a guava tree in the back. I've got all sorts of cactuses now. There's aloe vera. We have our chickens, but it's our property. But sometimes, and this is why I'll never be a landlord, is because people who rent can tend to not give a shit. It's kind of like there's a certain people who go to hotels and they just like, it's a hotel. Like, fuck them. They've got cleaning staff. And they just destroy the rooms. And there are certain tenants who just like, they're never going to go up on the roof and clean. So the old man just got tired of it. He says, you know, I don't want my rooftops getting rotted out and my backyard and all the fences rotting and all this other stuff. So I'm just going to cut the whole tree down and solve the problem. And he's like an 80-year-old dude who can't be bothered to yell at tenants, and, you know, sucks. Rant over. Welcome to the channel, Ro family. Look at the names of these other techno priests. Opticon 22. Oh, I wonder if he has dialogue, because he has an actual name. The tall, hunched tech priest stares at you unblinkingly. A breathing mask conceals his gaunt features. The skin on his hands is of a sickly gray hue, while his augments show signs of combat damage and are plated in black chromium, giving him a general air of lugubriousness. I don't even know that word. Holy crap. I've never seen that word. What does that mean? I'm gonna go look that up. Sad or dismal? It says looking or sounding sad and dismal. How come I've never heard of that word before? I'm assuming it's lugubriousness. Rhinex says loved watching the ship combat. Oh man, dude, that was pretty fun. I put that out as, I don't know if you watched the stream or if you watched the individual video I put out on that. I can't wait to get into that more, because getting ship parts and like, I could totally see bigger fights with multiple ships on the board. It's definitely an interesting side of the game for sure. I've only done that one encounter. Unit is defined as Logis Opticon 22 and is fully authorized representative, structural part of the Cognizance fleet and the priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Initiate an official greeting procedure for House von Valencias. Requesting information exchange regarding contractual obligation, Logis Star Theta. Pascal and option Opticon 22 exchange glances in a short series of Binharic signals before bowing their heads in satisfaction. Opticon 22's head bows noticeably lower than Pascal's, so a sign of deference. What is Logisticar Theta? Under the contractual obligation in question 34.761 Terran cycles ago, the Explorator Cognizance fleets received from representatives authorized units of the Von Valancia's dynasty a volume of high-grade promethium equal to the fuel capacity of 6 Tantolian void tankers. I fucking love sci-fi dialogue. None of that makes sense. I mean, obviously they were given some fuel. Received it and then didn't pay. Compensate, remunerate, settle accounts. Should I go on, or is that enough synonyms? Fucking Abelard. So apparently they never paid their debt. Okay, so the stipulated payment from the Cognizance fleet can be made to the Von Valancia's assets at this current time, after which the contractual obligation will be fulfilled. Confirm your status regarding acceptance of the payment. You waited 30 years to pay up? Ooh, I actually have the option to tell him no payment is needed. Or I'm going to confirm that I'm willing to accept the payment. The request is accepted. The sacred machines will be loaded onto the hold of your vessel. I'm getting... What are these? Mobile extractiums. Alright, let's make a trade deal, by the way. Oh, I've got so much stuff I could give him. Hold up, I need to do my cargo first, because I got so much stuff. Excuse me. Alright, so some of this stuff is obvious. I could probably put these prison diaries in there. I don't think anyone's going to wear that mesh. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Ha ha ha! I got a new weapon last time, and I did not equip it. Rebel Sniper Rifle, oh yeah. Oh, it even looks way cooler. I may have to, hang on a second guys, I've got sneezes. Alright, I've got other stuff too though. Got combat shotgun. A lot of stuff I'll never use. And I can't use because it's heretical. So I already have one of these. She can wield a shotgun in her offhand. Why not? Nothing yet that's better than her unfading valor. I mean, a sniper rifle, I guess, but her weapon is pretty good. I am gonna have to upgrade her though now because I've got her in my party again now because Heinrichs is gone. Liam asks, "Is this game out?" Yeah, it launched on the 7th, a few days ago. Excuse me, guys. I don't know where those sneezes came from. You got a plasma pistol. You're good to go. Las pistol. Eight to 16. That's a better pistol. All right. I think the rest of these we can move into the cargo. I wish you could bulk select. All right. Any armor? Yes. I think that that's better than what I'm wearing. Hmm. I think that's actually better. What about this one? Oh, that's definitely better than the one she's wearing. All right, no, we're good. All right, now we can talk to that dude again and see what he has to buy. All right, we can currently buy med pack, deflection gloves. Oh wow, these gloves allow the wearer to parry melee attacks with their ranged weapon using the ballistic skill instead of weapons skill. That's very interesting. I don't think I need those. Did I shot? I think I'm gonna buy that for my main character. Let's see, Medica. Oh, we want that plasma pistol. We want that plasma pistol for sure. That's rank 6. Oh, wow. There's multiple ranks. Holy crap. There's 21 ranks. The previous planet only had up to 3 ranks. There's all sorts of specialty armor. So this guy's obviously meant to be... We're supposed to earn reputation with him for a long time. Hold up. Before I do that, I seek the friendship. It's willing to provide services to the Von Valance's dynasty. The priority of service tasks can be raised if diplomatic links are strengthened. They're currently happy to accept examples of sacred technology, samples of profane xenotech, miscellaneous items. I can't speak. So we're on the hunt for information. Also, planets that have not been previously registered in the planetary register. That's cool. What do you want to know about planets? Omnifaceted study of the Cronus Expanse is the sacred mission of the Cognizance Fleet. Must be compiled, studied, transferred to the holy repositories on Mars. So there's an option here to show the data slate. I don't have any data slates, so I don't even know how to get data slates. Data slates, data slates. Man, that's going to be another one people jump all over me for. You're pronouncing it wrong. Why are you interested in xenotech? Isn't that heresy? The cognizant fleet finds it reasonable to believe that forbidden knowledge in the hands of the laity causes destruction and violations that go against the Omnissiah's will. Weakness of mind and will unleashes xeno-heresy, which consumes the laity.